What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. And if you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to brighten up the place. Let's get into this reality chat. And I wanted to talk about this really quick. I'm going to play this clip of this exchange between Courtney, who is Stormy's husband, and Marsau, the bitch-made fella from Love and Marriage Huntsville, because those of us who have been watching this show for several seasons now, we see Marsau's MO, his modus operandi, and he loves to confront women. But it's just disgusting. And I wanted to play this not just to talk about it in terms of, oh, do you see what happened, or do you hear what he said? But if you watch the confrontation, again, I'm just playing the audio, but if you watched the confrontation and if you looked at the posture, the body language, even though Marsau was trying to talk slick out of the side of his mouth, his posture was slouched. It was crouching over. It was leaning back. He was shaking. He did not want to appear that way. But Courtney, he came in there, he was posted up, he was sitting up straight, posture was fine. He didn't have any issues with confronting Marsau, and he checked him because Marsau said something that was just so freaking ridiculous. And I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. So let me go ahead and play this clip.
You don't want to see Courtney. Listen, and that's for real.
I wasn't expecting Courtney, but I can only imagine that Stormy's attack on me has been misdirected and interpreted as if I somehow checked her. What are you drinking?
Just the water.
You on water right now?
Yeah.
Had too much fun?
Nah, I ain't had no fun lately.
That sucks.
Yeah. How was the Black Expo?
It was good.
Was it?
Really well. I think had a good turnout. A lot of people came out. Got a lot of positive feedback. So
A lot of people didn't pay $100 though, huh? From what I heard, one person didn't pay. Yeah, my wife, right? Apparently, I'm finna go ahead and get into it.
okay.
With you trying to check my wife.
Check your wife.
Yeah,
That what you heard?
that's what I know.
Sounds good.
You confronted her about $100 about a booth. But ain't nobody said nothing about paying no money.
Everyone who had a booth, we expected the vendors to pay and the speakers.
So where's that thing? Okay, so what? You just said it, or did you have it on paper?
We had it on the internet, on the World Wide Web.
You can blame it if you want to.
I'm saying,
You can blame the World Wide Web on this if
I'm
you want
saying
to.
literally. Okay, have you been to an event where you can set up in what would be a quarter of the
But
event?
if you're going to charge some, you go ahead and charge it before you even set up. Ain't nobody said nothing about no money.
I think we said it to everyone.
Ain't nobody said nothing about no money, about no $100. But my thing is, yeah, you always come for women.
Coming up.
Ain't nobody said nothing about no money.
I think we said it to everyone.
Ain't nobody said nothing about no money, about no $100. But my thing is, yeah, you always come for women. Always. Marsau always talking about the women. But see, what Marsau need to probably do is just worry about Marsau business instead of women business.
You are aware that the Black Expo was my business, and collecting from vendors is part of my business. It's not a free event for multimillionaires to come in and take up 8 sections to sell their product. Apparently, asking for payment of services appear to be a trigger word
Whatever you say, you pissed off.
This was a simple, hey guys, maybe you overlooked this bill.
Go get your wife and talk to my wife about the situation.
You can't be this much of a protector.
Nah, if you let a man talk to your woman crazy, you a fool.
This is very comfortable handling herself when someone asks for it.
My wife is too.
Okay, well, not me. Not me. Somehow.
That's how you did it though. And you know how you did it. Stay in Marsau business or men business.
What's shocking to me, a guy would come in and say, hey, you should stay out of women's business when you're literally selling hair care products for women, to women.
No, I'm talking about business. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think you guys are blowing this maybe a little out of proportion.
You should just apologize for the whole thing right there.
No. There's an apology. There's an apology coming one way. And once it comes, I'll receive it with open arms. And I'll forgive it.
Man, you crazy.
It's the guy that sells hair products for a living.
Talking about women business? No, but that $100, he give you a tip for $100 for a water. Okay? That's on Marsau.
That's 60.
That's 80. Yeah, that's her tip.
There we go.
Don't give it to him. I got too many $1 million to goddamn worry about $100. But you know, me and Marsau, like, he can't battle with me. You know what I mean? Because I can drop stacks after stacks after stacks. It's really crazy that he want to try to be in a pissing contest with me about $100 that he could have got way before the event if he would just said something to me about it. I think Marsau just want to be.
All right, so you heard it. And basically, the reason I wanted to talk about this was because it is very clear to me. It's been evidently clear for many seasons now, based on just how he treats his own wife, is that this man does not really like women. He definitely does not honor and respect women. He doesn't even honor and respect his own wife, right? But business is definitely not something that Marsau can check anybody on, because he speaks, speaks a big game. It seems like he tries to use these big words to try to come for people and to try to make it seem like he knows what he's talking about in business. But a broken clock can be right twice a day. Just because you've gotten it right a few times here and there doesn't mean that you know what the hell you're doing. And when he made the comment, which he clearly does, he just wanted to be an a-hole. When Courtney said, you always are in women's business, he knew exactly what Courtney meant. So for him to respond, to say, it's funny how someone who actually has a business where they're selling women's hair care products is talking to me about being in women's business. He knows damn well that's not what he was talking about. But honestly, that was jealousy on his part, because here now you have his wife, Tisha, trying to get into doing hair care products, right? So it didn't fly. It was ridiculous. And he knew exactly what Courtney meant. But if you remember, if you go back to the first half of this season, at the Black Business Expo, Marsau came up to Tisha asking if she had paid her vendor fee. And Tisha did not want to confront Stormy about it. She said, well, you handle it. I'm not going to do... You know what I'm saying? So for him to sit there and tell Courtney, well, my wife has no problem confronting a woman if she needs to, or whatever. Clearly she did. So that was not true. That was a lie. The lie detector determined that was a lie, because it's on video. She said it. We all heard it. It wasn't one of those moments where the microphone wasn't there. We couldn't hear what was said. And it was just them speaking in the corner. And then he walks over to Stormy. And then this back and forth went on about the $100 fee. Now, I know there's a lot of things that have been said that I've heard of, at least, about Stormy and her money and different things going on with the business. I'm not going to get into all of that, but trust and believe with Stormy, it definitely was not about the $100. Was she a little bit over the top with her response to Marsau? Maybe, but that was her decision on how she chose to react to it. And I can get where she's coming from. It is a bit frustrating especially when it's been revealed based on the conversation that Kimmy had with Maurice, that at first, a lot of people were coming in, they were setting up, they had not paid a vendor fee, and then later on, they started collecting a vendor fee. So in my personal opinion, I do believe that Stormy is right. I don't believe, I could be wrong unless I see a flyer and it says that it's a $100 vendor fee. I spoke about this before. If it really was that important, that's something that you collect before they even come to set up. I haven't done many, but I've definitely been in attendance at events where vendors were there, and I can pretty much guarantee that none of those people would have been able to set up vendor booths if they had not paid the required fees in advance to even have a space there. So clearly, this Black Business Expo that they had set up, it was done very unprofessionally. And also, Stormy probably had the thought that this was something that it was I wouldn't say charity, but it was something for the community. So it wasn't something where people had to pay to show up. She was thinking, oh, this is something where people who have small businesses in the community, they can come, set up a booth, sell their products. It's a community thing. And then we'll have speakers there and people can learn a little something possibly. But I mean, clearly Stormy didn't need that. I mean, honestly, she didn't need that because there are other people that were there that didn't have an eighth of what Stormy had in terms of her business, because she has a warehouse. She's got products and retail distribution. She's, got a major brand online. So she didn't need to be at a vendor event. They made it seem like this was something that they wanted her to participate in as a speaker, and to be there to have a presence for her business as a vendor. So $100 in the grand scheme of things really is nothing. And that's why Courtney was like, here, I'm going to tip the bartender $100 on a glass of water, because it's not about the money. He was just basically trying to show Marsau that, look, this is ridiculous. The way you all are handling business is just not cool. And also, why couldn't it be Tisha to just, Tisha didn't have to do it with an attitude. She could have just been like, hey, girl, look, this is something we threw together at the last minute. And honestly, this is something that we're kind of doing for the first time. I apologize if I didn't mention to you at first, but there is a $100 fee for all vendors. Look, you don't have to send it to me now. You can shoot me a Venmo or a Cash App or send it on Square or whatever later. I know it's not a big deal to you. It's not even a big deal to us. It's just we're paying for the space and all this other stuff, yada, yada. I'm quite sure Stormy wouldn't have had a problem with it, but I'm sure it was weird because Stormy was just having a conversation with Tisha prior to Gummy coming over to speak to Stormy about, did you pay that $100 vendor fee? So to her, it probably looked like Tisha knew about this. She didn't say anything to me about it. We just spoke. And then as soon as she walks away, Gummy comes over to speak to me about this $100. So to her, it was kind of probably looking like they were talking about me. They were talking about this. And myself being a woman and Tisha being a woman, she could have just said it to me because she's the one that asked me to be a part of this in the first place. So again, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Stormy's reaction to Marsau in the way she did it was okay or not okay. I'm indifferent about it, but I'm saying that I understand. Not everyone would handle it or react the same way that she did. But again, Marsau and Tisha doing this thing in the way that they did it, it just sounds like it was just all over the place. And Melody was extremely brilliant to not participate in this in any way, shape, or form, and probably saw the crap show for what it really was. And she was like, I don't want no parts of it, So to see Marsau crouched over, leaning back, sipping on his little cocktail, it just looked bitch made to me. And so Courtney was just like, I don't have time for this. I'm out of here. And him trying to check Courtney on his business when I'm quite sure it looks like at least their business, Courtney and Stormy's business, is doing a whole lot better than what Marsau and Tisha have going on over there. They can't get it together with their living arrangements. It's every season They're moving here, moving there, moving everywhere, standing on the rocks and the rubble and the dirt for where this Scott Manor is supposed to be. And it's like, you all really don't have it like that. And honestly, it's okay. The problem lies when you lie and you try to portray this image to the public that you're really not living. Who cares about cars? Cars are depreciable assets. The person with the most jacked up credit and no money honestly could go and get a car with suicide doors. That means nothing. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it was a trip. Nothing surprising about Marsau and his reaction to Courtney in that moment, but him sipping on that cocktail like that, I was like, this little bitch me, you know what? Okay, trying to check Courtney about his business when it's like, what do you really do? Because the majority of times that we see him in this black cigar lounge, there's usually nobody there. But anyway, guys, I'm just speaking about what I see. You can let me know what you saw. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.